Yeah.
Today we're moving some fence posts and moving the chicken coop into a different paddock for the breeding hens. I'm in the farrowing pen, which is where the mum has her piglets. These guys have been in here for 6 months. We have moved it once, but we're doing the deep bedding, the wood chip bedding, which they manure and wee on, and the food scraps get composted through, the ones that they don't eat. There's plenty of bugs, ticks, and basically it's to reduce the smell, but also to create compost. And they're continuously turning it over. Pigs are generally pretty clean animals. They only go to the toilet in 2 spots in this pig pen. One is over in that corner over there, and inside this bedding they go in the corner over there as well. So I'm quite happy to pick this up off the ground because I know that there's no droppings in it, and it's actually quite dry considering we've had a fair bit of rain lately, so the water drains through it quite well. So I just keep that topped up. If I see it's getting a bit mucky, I put some fresh wood chips in there. It really does reduce the smell. You can tell if I haven't done it in a little while because it actually will start to smell. So as long as I keep up with that, adding the fresh wood chip, it really does reduce the smell of the piglets. There's 8 of them in here. This is probably a maybe 3 metre by 2 metre pen. Very soon they'll be moved out into the paddock where they'll be creating a garden bed, turning a garden bed over for us. And their mum will come back in here because she's halfway through her gestation of her 2nd pregnancy with us. So I want to move her in here so that I can give her a little bit extra food and make sure she's ready to go, ready for farrowing in a month or so. I like to, when I feed and water the piglets, come in and give them a good pat and a good rub down, just so that they get used to me, and they're a bit more easier to handle. If any of them were to get out, they wouldn't be scared of me. They know that I feed them, so it's just creating a good bond between myself and the piglets, because some of these might turn into breeders. Some will be eaten, but some will be turned into breeders, and you want to start as early as you can touching them and getting them used to you. So these guys are pretty calm. Their parents are pretty good too. I wouldn't trust them with kids, but they're pretty good. They've never done anything. They've never bit me or anything like that. So it's important to just start early when they're young, touching them a lot and making sure that they're very friendly pigs. These guys will get to be at least 300 kilos each. Those of them that do stay on to be breeders will get really heavy and very strong like their parents. So it's important to socialize with them and get them really familiar with humans, so that when it comes time to either farrow for the females or vetting for the males, it's a lot easier to do so when they're not as flighty or aggressive. This is where the piglets move from. You can see the shape of their pen, and there's pumpkins popping up. And this is a bit that I scratched up from when the piglets were born. There's 2 piles, both have tomatoes growing out of them. I put these guys in here yesterday lunchtime. They've turned it over so quick. I'm making the pots a little bit smaller at the moment because with all the rain we've had, the ground's really soft. And if I make the paddock too big, the push-in electric pickets just fall over. So, yeah, trying not to do the paddocks too big. That used to be like that yesterday. I can't get over how quick they are and how well they do. Not only will those piglets be more hygienic, I should have less foot issues. I shouldn't have any foot rot or anything like that if their feet stay as dry as possible. And I just feel better about eating something that hasn't been covered in its own feces its whole life. If they were to live in a more muddy environment, it just gets mixed, and they end up just being covered in mud and their own feces, which I don't really like. Not really a fan. Well, it wasn't pretty, but it did the job. What I'm doing is just giving the paddock I moved the chicken trailer into a rest, because it's had the geese and the sheep on it. So those guys will come out of that paddock and go into where the chickens were, which there's a lot of new grass in there. So the sheep and the geese will go in there, and I'll swap them with the chickens. Stay. Stay.